Pedro Pascal and Oscar Isaac are being praised for displaying a non-toxically masculine friendship. They are friends. Perhaps, according to some, they're a little bit more than friendly. In all of their pictures together, they appear to be very physically intimate. Maybe to a point where a lot of straight men find it weird and they don't feel like this is normal for straight male friends to do this. So in a recent photo that was shared by Pedro Pascal on Instagram, they are cuddling. This was posted, or the photo was actually taken by Oscar Isaac's wife. And here you can see that in this photo, they are embracing each other very closely.
I mean, he looks like he's actually comforting him after he said like something went wrong.
They are sharing an intimate cuddle in front of a scenic backdrop. Oscar Isaac is cradling Pedro Pascal and smiling while resting his head on Pedro's. His hand is also visible on Pedro's shoulder, who has channeled his inner Ariana Grande by reaching up to clasp onto Oscar Isaac's thumb. It's giving Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo on the Wicked press tour vibes.
I'm thinking that he just got done filming his final scene in The Last of Us.
He's just feeling a little bit emotionally ragged.
The golf club is right next to him, and then he's sharing an emotional moment.
We have a 20 from Pop Culture Junkie. I worked for an affluent black TV station general manager who had 3 kids that he would take to a church every Thanksgiving. All day, they would serve dinner to the less fortunate. Just one example of his great parenting.
Great parenting goes a long way.
Those are good values to instill. Now, a lot of people were discussing this photo after it was circulating online and saying that this is a great thing, that they can be so close with each other, even though they're both heterosexual and married to women. One person said, oh, thank you.
One person said, put a girl on.
No, they were not putting a girl on. They were not at all.
Pedro's like, not on my watch.
No, there were no girls allowed in that situation.
Maybe they have a treehouse.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
One person wrote, as a happily married straight man, this is the kind of friendship I would kill to have. Deep friendships filled with love are just deep friendships filled with love. Those friends are lucky to have each other. Another one said, more celebrity men known for playing tough guys, badass, strong men characters displaying ultra non-toxic masculinity, please. Another one said, I'm so over toxic masculinity. These two give me hope for the future.
But this isn't like, why is this even in the same discussion? It's not masculinity at all.
I guess just them being men and doing anything, you can call it a form of masculinity, even if what they're doing is objectively effeminate.
What if they did it like at a gun range? Then is that like both toxically masculine and not toxically masculine at the same time?
Tell me this as if there isn't an audience watching us right now. What is the actually like physically closest you've gotten as a straight man with your male friend?
So look, if they were doing this as a gag to get a reaction, fair enough.
Okay.
Right? Like if they were like, this will be funny, people will say stuff, it'll make all kinds of people get worked up, and we will do the thing that we're doing here, which is talking about it, blah, blah, blah. If it was a gag, fine. I'm on board. I totally back it. It's funny that way. We'll never know. I hope that they're laughing about it.
Oddly enough,
but I don't know. But if they're doing this just because they want to feel each other's like love and support and comfort, it's like, that's weird.
Is this cultural? Somebody said that in the comments. They said, is this cultural?
Because they're Latinos.
Yes. That's what somebody said in the comments.
I feel like Latin men are like with the
more
whole machismo
machismo.
thing.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. I was like, what?
I don't know. If we have Latino men in the chat, let us know if this is normal for you.
Maybe it's just cultural in Hollywood.
But no, really answer the question though.
Not this.
Not this?
Not this.
Just like
this is the meme.
So you mean the line is like, would you say the line for straight male friends is quick hug?
Sure.
I've even seen, I don't really actually see men hug with their arms now. They always do the dude hug.
There's the handshake.
The handshake that turns into
a
hug.
That's
yes. one.
Yeah.
There are like it's
side.
So like I actually am like, if I'm like talking to like someone that I'm really close friends with, I'm a hugger. Like, and if there's a dude, I will full on hug. But that's not holding. That's not holding the hands and
It's
stuff
not
like
caressing.
that. No. It's definite. It's clearly platonic hug. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Nothing like this.
Like this
No.
is the out. Like I'm just not the tactile, wanting to be touched person. So
I am inclined to believe that this was not a joke that they were playing on all of us, because they have a history of doing this together. In fact, in a Instagram post from years and years ago, they are seen together in this selfie. Oscar Isaac is nibbling Pedro Pascal's ear, and Pedro Pascal captioned the photo, "Oscar takes a bite." This is still up, by the way. And one commenter said, "It's hard to find friends who are affectionate like that. With same-sex friends, what's wrong with society where you can't show raw emotions with your friends without being criticized as needy and being too much to handle? Both men went through a lot of ups and downs trying to make it in their industry. I'm happy that they're both there for one another. That's what true friendship looks like."
this is its own meme territory on Instagram of like homoerotic the boys.
Yeah, it's like, "Hey, fellas, is it gay to cuddle with your bros?
Yeah,
is
this
it
is-
gay to kiss your bros?"
Like
Yeah,
they're just
it
taking
is.
that meme and turning it into real life.
Why is that meme so prevalent? Like, I see it all the time, like men making these kind of gay
Dunno.
jokes. It was different. Like, I feel like 10, 20 years ago, the joke was that you're calling your bro gay.
Yeah.
To demean him jokingly, and now the joke is like some kind of weird thing where you're calling yourself gay,
Yeah.
and that's the joke.
Yeah.
So what shifted there? I remember, like, I had male friends in college before I dropped out who did that. They would like cuddle with each other, and I was like, "That's so weird. Are you kidding?" And they just thought it was the most normal thing in the world. And they also found it funny.
it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
It's like these Gen Z men are like different.
The
They're just
different.
the other
different in a bad way.
the other question here is they're using this as a way of bringing up the topic of toxic masculinity, as if this is somehow a response or an answer to that, without actually telling you what toxic masculinity is to them, which I'm
Yeah.
guessing anybody who looks at this as the answer to that thinks that just about any masculine behavior is toxic.
Right. But what is sanctioned anymore for men?
I mean, that's
What are you left with?
like
Is there even a definition of masculinity anymore if you can just mold it into whatever you want?
I mean, I think there's a huge gap here also in real world application versus the internet, meaning that I've told you, and we've told the story before, of that one horrendous experience I had on a college campus of like a woman telling me to not hold a door open for her. Look, that is, for me, at least in my experience, the outlier. It's not the way I've seen things in the real world. I've held open hundreds of doors for people and never once ever heard something like that, but you always remember the insane experience, right? So how is masculinity criticized in the real world as opposed to the theoretical on the internet? Like if a woman's car is broken down and you pull over to help her change a tire, I would be interested to know if there's any experiences from women who are like, "No, don't help me."
I would like to say I was wrong earlier.
About
Pedro Pascal is not openly straight, but he's not openly gay either. So he might be gay. A lot of people think that he's gay and just doesn't talk about it.
I mean, I'm more offended by the calling him a... Like, the other thing in the article that they referenced was about not being typecast in roles. And they were like, how many scripts can they send me about playing a Latin gangster? I'm like, I've never seen Pedro Pascal play a gang member. I've only ever seen him play...
This is the same stuff that you hear from, like, John Leguizamo.
I've only
every
ever
5
seen
minutes.
Pedro Pascal play FBI agents and...
Who needs to tell Pedro Pascal that he looks white?
Yeah.
Like, has anyone ever told him that? He does not look like Pedro, okay? Yeah. He just doesn't. I'm sorry. You look like a guy named Joe Smith. And as for Oscar Isaac, I didn't even know that he was Latino, so it just doesn't... You're not Pedro. You're not giving Pedro. I just sent you a video of Oscar Isaac that I wanted to show, where he's referring to Pedro Pascal as his significant other? Question mark? I guess this is a running thing for them.
My sweet girlfriend Pedro, my girl. We're two sisters. Space sisters. We're two space sisters in a space pod. That's my baby. I'm sorry. Pedro.
Really?
Pedro's.
I take Pedro.
It's my
Oscar.
Pedro. It's my Pedro.
Oscar Isaac is.
I'd have to say
he's apologizing to his wife because he's in a relationship with Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of that, but it's giving Brokeback Mountain. It's just this. Also, Pedro Pascal was in a very similar gay western alongside Ethan Hawke just last year. So he swings a certain way. I'm willing to say that.
I just when I see people talking about this, it's Hollywood. It's Hollywood and urban blue city men.
It's sort of like, okay, I've heard Candace Owens talk about the way that Taylor Swift walks around with her girl squad. And she says, I'm the same age as Taylor Swift. I definitely don't hold my friends' hands.
I mean, we've talked about that.
And skip around like little girls. That's not age appropriate, and it's definitely a photo op.
Well, when we brought this up before, I mentioned that it seemed like a photo op. You said maybe it's because of all the press and not wanting to get...
Yeah, that's what I would say if it were like a couple of times that she does this.
Or she brings up, like, we had a slumber party. I'm like, dude, you're in your 30s.
She's talking about being a 35-year-old woman who does slumber parties with other women her age. They're a bunch of weirdos.
Normal women don't have slumber parties because they have to go to work the next day.
Yeah.
That's true.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.